What is going on, everybody? Alright, so for today's video blog, we're going to be talking about whether real estate is an adequate investment vehicle for long-term wealth creation. And the short answer is absolutely. However, before we go into this, I need to talk about a couple things. Number one, this should not be misconstrued as investment advice. I'm just giving you guys information. It's up to you to do the necessary research and make a decision that you are comfortable with. Secondly, when there is some sort of reward available, there's going to be an inherent risk. So you have to be 1000% comfortable with that before you move forward with it. If you're not very risk tolerant, put your money in a savings account, let it sit there, and you know, move on with your life. However, if you're looking for your money to work for itself, you got to invest it, and you got to take calculated risks. There are 1,000,001 different investment opportunities out there. You could do stocks, you could do Bitcoin, you could do anything. I'm only talking about real estate because that's what I know and that's what I believe in. Now, we always have to have a good portfolio in the sense of don't ever leverage yourself 100% to one thing as well. So even if you do have investments in real estate, you should have stocks and other things like that as well. However, we're going to talk about real estate and how to invest in it. Now, I'm not talking about people who are speculating, people who hold short-term holdings and flippers. Real estate is an extremely expensive asset class to buy and sell. All right, so I'm not talking about these kinds of situations where you're just like trying to make a quick buck. What I'm talking about is when you buy and hold real estate in the long term. When I'm talking about long term, I mean 3, 5, 10 years, you're going to make money on it. How? All right, so even if you own one home, you own your primary residence, you have invested in real estate. Even when my clients are looking for the perfect home for themselves, I always tell them, look, I know you want to be happy with the purchase and you picture your family growing here and having all these amazing memories. At the end of the day, you still have to consider this as an investment. You still want to sell it down the road and you want to make money on it. So how do you invest in real estate when you have your own home? Well, number one, when you own the house, you are owning it while it appreciates and the value appreciates, so you're fighting inflation, you're making money on that side. In addition to it, while you're living there and the house is making money and growing in value, you're paying down the mortgage. So now you're seeing a little bit of a disparity in what you're building in equity, which is the most important thing. Lastly, which I don't think a lot of people understand, is in Canada, you do not pay capital gains tax on your primary residence. So you bought your house for $300,000, you sold it for $400,000, and you paid your mortgage down to $250,000. That $150,000 is tax-free. All right. Now, when it's an actual investment, you do have to pay capital gains tax. I'm not an accountant. Talk to your accountant as well. But you already own your primary residence, but you still want to invest in more real estate. How do you go about it? Well, you buy a secondary property. It can be a single family, duplex, triplex, what have you. And you're going to rent it out to other families. They're going to pay the mortgage. And in addition, you're going to make additional cash flow on top of all the benefits we just discussed. Now, if you don't want to actually deal with renters, you don't want to deal with property management, it's a big headache, and you just want to kind of stay hands off, there's a few other ways you can get involved. Number one, you can get involved with joint ventures. Now, those are a little bit riskier. I don't recommend them unless you're 100% comfortable with who you're working with. And these allow you to kind of partner with other people. Everyone focuses on what their strength is, and everything's in contracts, and everyone's kind of fulfilling their end of the bargain. Now, in addition to joint ventures, let's say you don't want to do that. You don't want to deal with people. You don't want to deal with contracts and things like that. You can get involved in REITs. REITs are real estate income trusts, investment trusts, which are basically stocks. And these REITs focus on different types of real estate out there. So there's REITs that focus on just shopping centers, REITs that focus on nursing homes, office buildings, industrial plazas, what have you. And you buy these kind of stocks, and what they do is every quarter, every 6 months, a year, they pay out the dividend to the owners. That's basically the easiest way to get involved in real estate investing. Now, again, you must do your own due diligence. This is not investment advice. I'm just telling you that there are a lot of great options out there for people that want to invest in real estate. If you have any questions or you want to talk more, don't ever hesitate to let me know. Jacob at SoldByJacob.com, Instagram, Facebook, SoldByJacob. I'm actually going to link to another video I recorded years ago that's going to kind of break it down a little bit more in depth. And again, if you need any clarifications or you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to contact us. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.